Destroyed infrastructure, that's what we're focusing on today. It's in municipalities around the country. Experts are saying broken infrastructure is, of course, the root of most municipal failures. Lack of spending capacity also being blamed for the poor service delivery. The Auditor General has found, listen to this, only 27 out of 257 municipalities have actually received clean audits. Let's discuss this a little bit further, joined by SAMWU's Dumisani Magagula. Dumisani, morning to you. Appreciate your time. Let's start off here if we can. It seems that there is money to get this all done. The money just isn't being spent. Is that a statement you would agree with or disagree with?
Good morning, Gareth, and good morning to your viewers. I would partly agree with the statement, but there are also realities of underfunding towards municipalities. And we have raised this before, more especially around the equitable shares and the calculation of equitable shares to the rural municipalities. But it is a general problem that there is negligence in municipalities and poor governance in terms of the funding and the attitude towards service delivery.
Unpack what you mean by equitable shares a little bit for me, Dumisani. Help me understand.
Yeah, by equitable shares, we mean that there should be funding that goes as a grant to the municipalities. It's part of the revenue of a municipality, and that grant comes from National Treasury, and it's meant to assist municipalities with indigent residents who are not able to pay for their rates and taxes. And as a result, the government sponsors or caters for such residents towards the municipality.
So when we start looking at the number of municipalities, forgive me, Dumisani, continue. So I thought you finished your point. Continue.
Now, yeah, when we talk to calculation of the equitable share, what we mean is that the government would then set up factors that determine how much of that grant goes to a municipality. But it will, as a top priority, look at the population of the municipality. Now, it's a reality that in rural areas, we have very low population, and at the same time, you have high unemployment. And as a result, grants that go to such municipalities will be very low because there is low population. Meanwhile, there is no potential for payment of revenue or for payments of rates and taxes by those residents because they are not employed.
I do want to come back to the issue of a lack of spending. Taking a look at a Business Tech article from a short while ago, they've taken a look at 8 different points that are causing issues at a local government level, and a lack of spending is playing a major part of that as well. So what do we do about ensuring that municipalities that do get the money are actually using it for what it's meant for? It has been a problem in our country over the past few years, hasn't it?
It has been a problem, and number one towards lack of spending is the privatization of services of a municipality, where the municipality should be putting up infrastructure. We live in towns with old infrastructure, and there is a grant that goes towards the renewal of infrastructure. But because municipalities do not have skilled labor towards doing that, they don't skill. They do not recognize artisans. They do not employ artisans. Then they want to privatize all these services. And as a result, it slows down the replacement of the old infrastructure. And municipalities on a yearly basis, over 45% of grants that should go towards infrastructure development goes back to National Treasury. And it's not even rolled over. Yeah. They lose it and get new money in the coming year.
And that's one of the biggest issues as well, isn't it, Dumisani? When we don't spend the money, you don't get that money back. It's almost like any corporate. If you don't spend your budget, you're going to lose it for the next financial year. And the problem with the money is it's not being used correctly to keep the technical facilities up to scratch, like water and electricity. There's the knock-on effect, isn't it? If the residents are not getting water and electricity, they don't want to pay for the rates and taxes, which means the municipality doesn't get the money to keep the infrastructure going. I feel like this is a rolling stone down the side of a mountain. It's a circular issue, isn't it?
That is correct. residents will pay for the services that they receive. And if there is no infrastructure, if there is no equipment to deliver services, if there are no trucks in municipalities, which is the reality of municipalities now, there are no tractors, and municipality is understaffed and underskilled, residents will not pay for the service that they are not receiving. And as a result, it means that municipalities need to change their attitude and start to put in place the policies, the many good policies that they have and many good council resolutions that they have. They now need to put them into action and make sure that services are delivered. But over and above all, they need to make sure that they stop the corruption that is going on in municipalities, stop privatizing skilled workers and deliver services.
And I'm going to leave that as my last question to you, Dumisani. You led me very nice to where I was going to next. Irregular, fruitless and unauthorised expenditure. Just take us back to 2019, 2020. If memory serves me correctly, 26 billion rand in irregular, fruitless and unauthorised expenditure in all our municipalities. That's a lot of money unaccounted for. It's no wonder residents are so angry. How do we get on top of that particular issue? My last question to you.
It's the same answer all the time. Consequence management. When these things do happen in municipalities, there is no consequence management. We have municipalities where we can give examples of a lot of fruitless expenditure. And what's going to happen now with the new council in place, they are advertising for the administrators, they're advertising for executive positions, MMs, and they're going to circulate. They're going to take the very same people and put them back into the system because there is no consequence management. And it will never end because it becomes a vicious cycle where people are taken from one municipality where they fail and they graduate to a greater municipality, to a larger budget, and continue to fail.
Yeah, consequence management in the end should equal accountability as well, but it's simply not what we are seeing. Dumisani, I always appreciate your time in coming on to